Despite the fact that the Russians are advancing, Ukraine's defense forces have recaptured Verbov from them. There are local successes in Dnipropetrovsk region, as well as in the neighboring Zaporizhzhia region, in the Lyman area, and in Kharkiv region. We can't call this a counteroffensive yet, but we want to believe that our army has found an antidote to the enemy's tactics: the penetration of small assault groups. No one is saying it outright, but there are a few more optimistic plans in the headquarters now, especially after the blocking of mass Starlink use. And on top of that, the Russians shot themselves in the foot by restricting telegram networks, which was used for almost all operational tactical communication among the occupiers. In this episode, we want to support the fighters of the 13th National Guard Brigade Kartia. They are defending us specifically on the Kharkiv front. They are in dire need of support for aerial reconnaissance, spare parts, antennas, chargers, everything for drones. That's why every 10, 20 or 100 hryvnias from us, and you counts. Scan this QR code and the soldiers will get what they need most. Every contribution means one more effective sortie. Thank you to everyone who joins in. Well, our Andriy Tsaplienko visited 3 different fronts and saw how, on one of them, fighters of the Ukrainian Volunteer Army captured a Russian commander. It's been a very long time since we've had any captured officers. Watch.
There are many wounds, but at the moment, nothing threatens his life.
It could be a threat, but let's say it's not penetrating. We're checking the situation. 97, 98.
A medic is providing aid to the Russian prisoner. And this is not just any prisoner. He's an officer, a paratrooper from Buryatia.
The first lieutenant, serving as the platoon commander.
Russian officers are often ordered not to approach the front line so they don't get captured. But the Buryat and the fighters of the 253rd Air Regiment captured him about 20 kilometers from Zaporizhzhia. I
personally approached him, talked to him, said, "Surrender and you'll live." Yes, I'm standing there. Here are my hands. He came out. We took him in with his bags.
And then we proceed to ask him, "So, tell me, what is your current rank, Lieutenant?" I think, well, that's good.
Jackpot.
Yeah, sure.
The lieutenant wasn't alone. He was leading a group. This trio of fighters during the operation captured 4 Russians.
They aimed their weapons at him. "Who are you?" I said, "I'm a fagot." "Well, come out. Why are you just lying there?"
If you want to live, surrender.
He came out and I started tying his hands up right away. "How many of you are there?" 3? I went straight to the dugout. "And what the fuck are you doing there?" "You're just sitting there, crawling around," they say. Well, such losers.
But their commander shouldn't be underestimated. The Buryat had clearly been briefed on how to behave in captivity.
He kept falling and didn't want to get up, like he was deliberately stalling, waiting for something, and you can't stay on the trench for long, because at any second a drone could fly in and take us out. Yeah.
It really felt like he was
delaying us. The Lieutenant Erdenitsy Bigzhapov had some very serious reasons not to surrender. He
actually wanted, as he told us, he wanted to do it himself. I
wanted to end it as quickly as possible and not be taken prisoner. Then he raised his rifle, tried to shoot himself in the head, but the rifle jammed.
He told me that there was absolutely no way to return.
It's important to find out what kind of mission this was, for which the Russians were willing to risk an officer. Especially since in Area, in this sector, almost a whole platoon of prisoners was captured in just a few days.
Personally, as for the work of our group, that's 16 prisoners. That's where we stand right now. In
Zaporizhzhia region, the losses are preventing Russia from moving from tactical to operational offensive. The front is still far from being stabilized, but it seems that the Ukrainians have found a way to counter it. Russian infiltration tactics. And not just in the south. First, enemy groups are detected, then massive drone strikes are launched in combination with lightning-fast sweeps of the enemy positions. And that's how it works, as proven by the Special Forces of the 4th Ranger Regiment.
The very word ranger comes from the English word range, meaning length of the path. And we have to cover these paths. We can, for example, dash in within a couple of hours, complete the mission, and return back. Drones can't do everything.
Surrender, bastard, you'll live. That's Donetsk region. The Rangers have just cleared out a hideout of the occupiers here that the drones didn't spot.
We tried to make voice contact, offered them to surrender, but no one responded. So the decision was made to clear the dugout. We saw the bodies, looted them, and collected the weapons.
I see a trophy weapon. Show me, what kind of weapon is this? This is exactly the weapon that during the firefight, as I understand it.
Yes, this is the first trophy that was handed over. Accordingly, there was an encounter with the enemy. My specialists eliminated him. And accordingly, along with documents and everything else, we captured this kind of weapon sample. An AK-12 of the second generation. But apparently, they had some trouble with the sling.
Only those who are well-trained and fully motivated go out on raids.
IPV, look!
I was wounded by a drone, both legs and an arm. I spent 4 months being treated in hospitals. I stayed at home for a while and got bored. I wanted to return to service, so here I am.
They are transported to the drop-off point by light armor, the American M113. This vehicle is twice as old as its driver. It probably saw the jungles of Vietnam. But we haven't heard any complaints about its antique age from the Rangers.
This vehicle has a certain soul. You have to feel the vehicle. The vehicle should be an extension of yourself. Most of the combat mission you carry out depends on it.
The active defense tactics of the Ukrainian Rangers inspire, as they say, cautious optimism.
According to intelligence, by the end of February, the enemy has been tasked with capturing the settlement.
Will they still manage to successfully complete the challenging mission they've originally set out for themselves?
If there are no large-scale, massive assaults, the advancing enemy forces will be effectively stopped.
Light infantry also plays a key role in the operation that became a slap in the face to the chief of the Russian General Staff. Valery Gerasimov had already announced the capture of Kupiansk at the very moment when these guys, the foreign volunteers of the Kartia Brigade, had almost cleared the city center of Russians.
They could have surrendered. They could have, and we gave them that opportunity. But their command brainwashed them.
As soon as they hear foreigners speaking, and this actually happened just a couple of days ago, the moment they hear English, they immediately get scared of us and flatly refuse to surrender.
Not just English.
Which country are you from? Are you from St. Petersburg? Portugal? A foreigner should not feel like a stranger. When he feels like he belongs, he will start working just like everyone else. But if he feels like an outsider, a foreigner, a non-native speaker, his behavior will also be different. The backbone of the unit that is liberating Kupiansk. Volunteers from Latin America, their motivation is not just financial.
To be honest, I was very angry. I got angry when I saw how a Russian drone attacked 1-year-old Dmitrik and his grandmother, taking his short life. For me, that was the last straw. I couldn't go on living a normal life in Brazil, knowing that innocent people are being killed here. And I decided to fight for them in
Ukraine. My call sign is Carbonero. I'm from Kuluba. We attack the Russians, they respond, but not like we do. They tend to retreat or hide. I think our training is much better than theirs. They practically have none. They have a big advantage because they have drones and artillery. But when it comes to direct confrontation, the advantage is always ours.
As of now, the operation in Kupiansk is ongoing.
Right now, the ratio of people to drones is a problem. There are at least 10 drones for every infantryman. Sometimes we're talking about 1,000 drones. When you eliminate a Russian soldier, he no longer poses a threat. When you shoot down a drone, they immediately send another one.
Kartia responds in kind. Instead of artillery barrages, drones are flying in. But
Stop, please. Let me tell you what needs to be done.
before the assault troops enter Kupiansk, Kartia's drones drive the occupiers into their holes. Got it. Got it. The Russian advance has slowed down. The number of assaults is increasing, but the pace of the advance is slowing down. The enemy seems to be getting tired, yet refuses to agree to peace, which means they are looking for resources to continue the war. Andriy Tseplienko, Ilya Shenkarenko, Artem Oblovatny, Carmen Markesh, and Serhiy Perfilov. TSN Week 1+1 Marathon United News.